guys, gue Renaldo, gue mahasiswa Ukrida. Banyak orang yang nanya ke gue, kenapa gue pilih Ukrida sebagai kampus pilihan. Sekarang gue akan kasih tahu kalian why I choose Ukrida. Kampus utama Ukrida, lokasinya super strategis. Akses menuju kampus juga banyak banget. Dan akses yang mudah tentunya jadi salah satu pertimbangan penting buat gue untuk milih kampus. Selain kampus utama, Ukrida juga punya kampus 2 khusus fakultas kedokteran dan kampus 3 untuk mahasiswa kelas malam yang sudah bekerja. Sebagai mahasiswa Ukrida, kita tidak hanya dibekali ilmu akademis saja, tapi kita juga dipersiapkan untuk menjadi leader melalui kegiatan soft skill. That's why banyak sekali lulusan Ukrida di luar sana yang sukses dan menjadi pemimpin. Halo, apa kabar?
Di Ukrida, kita diajak untuk menggali potensi diri melalui fakultas-fakultasnya.
Mulai dari Fakultas Kedokteran dan Ilmu Kesehatan,
Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis, hingga program Magister Manajemen, Fakultas Teknik dan Ilmu Komputer, Fakultas Psikologi, Fakultas Ilmu Sosial dan Humaniora. Di Ukrida, semua fakultasnya pun sudah terakreditasi dengan baik, sangat baik, dan bahkan unggul. Jadi kalian bisa memilih sesuai dengan minat kalian. Inspirasi bagi para mahasiswa dalam menggapai potensi yang terbaik.
Dosen-dosennya dari Ukrida itu support banget, jadi kita dibimbing dari awal sampai akhir. Bahkan di sana pun kita dibimbing sampai akhirnya kita bisa dapat medali silver. Pokoknya supportnya luar biasa.
Dengan adanya sistem belajar yang tepat, fasilitas yang baik, serta dosen yang mendukung, saya bisa mencapai seperti saat ini. Itu adalah karena dukungan penuh dari pihak Ukrida.
Selain kegiatan akademik, Ukrida juga punya Ukrida Science Center, Ukrida TV, serta beberapa unit kegiatan mahasiswa lainnya yang bisa jadi wadah para mahasiswa memacu pola pikir inovatif untuk bisa selangkah lebih maju sekaligus mengasah soft skill di luar jurusan mereka. Di sini kita memiliki fasilitas penunjang seperti perpustakaan, ruang konseling, area olahraga, gym room, auditorium, dan fasilitas umum lainnya.
Enaknya kuliah di Ukrida, jadi sebelum lulus saya udah dapat kerjaan. Berbekal ilmu dan karakter yang ditanamkan kepada saya waktu di Ukrida, itu jadi pegangan saya selama saya menjalani karir saya di masyarakat. Sampai hari ini, saya menjadi Senior General Manager di usia 42. Di mana hal itu sebenarnya kalau di perusahaan Jepang, itu sebuah rekor baru. Ya, semua itu berkat ilmu yang saya dapat dari Ukrida.
So, gimana guys? Seru kan kuliah di Ukrida?
Join sekarang dan temukan potensi terbaikmu.
Bersama Ukrida, kita jadi pemimpin muda.
Okay. Uh, Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Okay. It is a great pleasure for me to welcome all of you into our international webinar, which is Artificial Intelligence in Healthcare Systems. Okay. This program is one of our Ucrida Dies Natalis 54 and in collaboration with the Tunghai University. Okay, I would like to thank all of you for your time to be here, even though it's virtually. I also would like to thank you and welcome Prof. Chao-Tung from Tunghai University, Taiwan. He will be the speaker to share his knowledge about this artificial intelligence. Okay, today webinar we will be talking about the application of deep learning in public health and healthcare. As you know, we always hear these terms about the AI or artificial intelligence, which is how the computer can mimic the human behavior. Now, we know that deep learning is one part of this artificial intelligence. So in this seminar, we will hear how the Prof. Yang will share his knowledge about this deep learning and how to apply it in the healthcare systems. Okay. But before that, we'll have our photo session first, and followed by the opening speech from our Ukridas Dies Natali Chair Committee, which is Dr. Oki Sunardi. So first, I would like for you to open your camera and show me your fresh and bright face because we will have our photo be taken. Okay, so I kindly ask all of you to have your camera open, so I will take the picture. Okay. Okay, so I think I will ask Mr. Benny to help me to take the picture. Okay. Can you give us a count? 1, 2, 3.
Okay, cool. Everyone, please open your video cam. We will take the picture in 1, 2, 3. Okay, please wait. Okay, for the next take. Okay, I checked there are so many of you not yet open your video cam. Can you please check it again so we can take the picture? Okay, we take picture in 1, 2, 3. Okay, and the last one. We take the picture in 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Benny. Okay, now I would like to welcome our chair committee, Dr. Oki Sunardi, to give us his opening speech. Okay, please, Dr. Oki, I give you the time.
Good morning, everyone. Dear respected colleagues, professors, and students, the 2020-2021 pandemic has challenged our manufacturing, finance, education, and our healthcare systems. Nevertheless, the current condition has also opened the door to a great of artificial intelligence. Global AI in healthcare market size is expected to grow from $4.9 billion in 2020 and reach 45.2 billion by 2026. Thus, what will the future of the healthcare industry look like in the AI era? How will AI shape the post-pandemic future of healthcare? As AI, machine learning, and deep learning has become a very hot topic recently. This webinar, jointly hosted by the Krida Wacana Christian University, UKRIDA, and the Tunghai University, Taiwan, will explore more specific on the opportunities, challenges, and implication of the use of deep learning specifically in public health and healthcare. This webinar is a part of many activities during 2021 to celebrate the 54th anniversary of UKRIDA. So I would like to express my appreciation to Professor Chao-Tung from Tunghai University and Dr. Ivan Tanra from UKRIDA for sharing and hosting this webinar. And for all the participants, I hope you all have an excellent webinar this morning. Once again, thank you and
Okay, thank you, Dr. Oki.
enjoyable morning.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Dr. Oki. Okay, now we'll go to our main session of the speech. Okay, my main session of this webinar, which is we'll have some speech from and lecture from Prof. Yang. Okay, later on, if you guys during the lecture, if you have a question and answer, you can write it down first because we'll have our Q&A session after the lecture. Okay, before we have this. Before I pass this to Prof. Yang, let me introduce you a bit about Prof. Yang, where I will read some of his profile. So, Prof. Yang, or his full name is Dr. Yang Chao-Tung, is a lifetime distinguished professor of computer science at Tunghai University in Taichung, Taiwan. Okay, so he get his Bachelor of Science degree in Computer Science from Tunghai University in 1990, and his Master of Science also in Computer Science from the National Chao-Tung University, Hsinchu, Taiwan in 1992. He also received his PhD degree in Computer Science from the National Chao-Tung University in July 1996, and at that same time, he also won the 10th Acer Dragon Award for his outstanding PhD thesis dissertation. Okay, he has worked as an associate researcher in the National Space Organization (NSPO) in Hsinchu Science-Based Industrial Park from October 1996, and he started his academic career in August 2001. By joining the Faculty of Computer Science at Tunghai University as an associate professor. He get his full professor in August 2007, distinguished professor in August 2015, and a lifetime distinguished professor in August 2019. Sorry. Okay. So recently, which is this May 2021, he has already got the Outstanding Engineering Professor Awards from Chinese Institute of Engineer. Okay, he also won the Outstanding ICT Elite Award in Taiwan at December 2018. So he got a few awards. Several of his research achievement or his research reward, we can see that he also got 3 times Outstanding Industry Academic Cooperation Award in 2012, 2014, and 2015. He also got 4 times Excellent Industry Academic Cooperation Award in 2013, 2016, 2018, and 2019 from Ministry of Science and Technology. He also served awarded 11 times Talent Award from Ministry of Science and Technology in 2010 and 2020. Okay. Several of his research award also is he has already served in the several editor board in the journal paper such as a future generation computer system. He also get from innovative application of big data and cloud computing, special issue of applied science, next generation IoT and cloud security solution, grid computing, application and technology. He also have write more than 350 papers in journal, books, chapter, and conference. And also he has published 2 books, which is Innovative Computing in 2020 and Advanced on Peer-to-Peer Parallel Grid Cloud and Internet Computing in 2019. Currently, his current research interests are in cloud computing, big data, parallel and multi-core computing, and web-based application. He is also member of the IEEE Computer Society and IET, a member of CIE, IICM, and TICC in Taiwan. Okay, so that's all for his profile. So now let us great welcome for Prof. Yan. Okay, please, Prof. Yan, I give you the time.
For Dr. Ivan Tanra introduced me. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Selamat pagi. It's my great pleasure to be here to have a talk on this international webinar talking about the AI in healthcare system. You can see behind me, that's our Tunghai campus. You can see that we call the art, science, evidence. Also, I'm here is my daily working place. We call the main library of Tunghai University. And you can see our counter. That's our library counter right now. Yeah. But however, right now, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, so we closed our main library. But we still continue to do the service for our faculty and student. Okay, let's get to my talk. The title of my talk, we're talking about the application of deep learning in public health and healthcare. My name is Chao-Tung. Yeah, very thanks for Dr. Ivan. He already introduced me most of my information. However, you still can contact me from my email. You can see on this slide page. Okay, my education, Dr. Ivan already instilled most of. You can see I'm get the bachelor in Tunghai University. So right now I'm served for Tunghai University. And I have to get a master degree and PhD degree from National Chao-Tung. But however, right now Chao-Tung is changing the name to the National Yangming Chao-Tung University, you know. My present job, currently I'm in computer science department as a lifetime distinguished professor. Also, I'm the chief librarian of Tunghai Library, main library. And I am also the adjunct research fellow at the National Center for High Performance Computing. So this is my academic experience. You can see I from the associate professor, full professor, and a distinguished professor, and right now I'm the lifetime distinguished professor. Also, I have some administration from the computer center as a director and academic research and assessment section office of R&D as a director. Also, the committee of the instrument and equipment, the executive secretary. Before I come to the Tunghai, I'm an associate researcher at the ground system segment. It's in National Space Organization. It's located in Hsinchu, Taiwan. At that moment, I'm the former set, the ROSET, the satellite operation director. We call the ground operation engineer. So you can see there's a picture, our vehicle, launch vehicle. Yeah, I have some words. Right now, I just got from the Chinese Institute of Engineering. It's an outstanding engineering professor award. Also, I have got the outstanding alumni award from our before department is a computer science department, National Chao-Tung University, and the other outstanding award just you can see on my slide. Okay, so I think we are in the artificial intelligence, big data, and the cloud and the Internet of Things area. So from this page, we can see the CB Insight have an announcement 2020. That's a top 100 AI innovation company. From this picture, you can see there's a 13 company related to the healthcare. That's a left up corner, you can see. From the top 100 companies from where, you can see there's the chart, the sheet say the most ones from United States, and then the Canada, UK, China, Israel, Germany, Sweden, Chile, France, Japan. So you can see this from the different country. Okay, that's my main research. You can see there's when I entered back to the Tunghai University around the 2000. So that's a class computing age. We know that's a Beowulf cluster. Also, we have the Beowulf. You can see the right picture, right hand side picture. That's we built the first one. We call the Beowulf because that's for the bioinformatics. They have 48 nodes with 96 processor. Connect to the gigabit Ethernet. Then we move to the grid computing, and we have set up some like the data grid or bio grid, and also include a health grid. And move to the cloud computing from the IaaS, SaaS, like the virtualization. Also, some issue is related to the health cloud. And right now, we are in the edge computing, fog computing, and edge AI. So we can see we can use some like the USB interface stick. So you can let your embedded system to have more AI computing power on your there's a embedded like maybe the Raspberry Pi or the NVIDIA Jetson Nano. Another issue is about the data processing. So we can see that from the big data processing, we use the Hadoop distributed file system, and Spark, Kafka, and Safe. Also, we have some sensor, include the sensor body, and connect with the sensor network. So right now we are in the Internet of Things, we call IoT. And will integrate with some AI algorithm we call AIoT. Also used for the industry, we call IIoT. And we can use for health, we call HIoT. So artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, I think is for the healthcare and smart health right now. Okay, let me introduce. This is my first paper talking about healthcare. There's you can see it's published on the Journal of Medical System. There's describe how to construction and application of an intelligent air quality monitoring system for the hospital. So you can see there's our system from the right-hand side picture, and another picture is about the hospital, the map layout. So we use this kind of IoT environment to watch the indoor air quality and to get some data, and then we can improve in the future. And this paper is talking about the medical image. So we save and archive the medical image on Hadoop distributed file system. This paper is published on Feature Generation Computer System 2015. So you can see there's a very high impact factor journal. And we have the architecture on the right-hand picture. And also we compare to the medical system we call the PACE. Everybody know the PACE is the most usually in hospital. And we construct we call the MyFace. There's a medical image file access system. They have the fault-tolerant capacity. Also, they can be with the parallel file transfer for the user. Okay, there's another. It's a platform for medical record. We save all the medical record into the cloud. So there's a paper is talking about implementation of big data access and processing for the medical record in cloud. So you can see there's a published on the Journal of Medical System again. There's a 2017, and the right picture is a main architecture. So we can get the file from the Excel or the SQL database, convert with the CSV file, import into our cloud base. And then we have the user interface that the doctor and medical can use the access the data. Then we focus on indoor air quality monitor. So we have the two papers talking about how to implement the intelligent indoor environmental monitoring and management. So it's also on the cloud. We published these two papers is on the 2019. One is on the FGCS, Feature Generation Computer System again. By the way, we saved all the data and to perform the data storage and processing. So before we do the public health data, we should construct a system to processing all the data from the website or from the existing record. So this paper is talking about the real-time air quality Infusa-like Ionis data storage and processing platform. That's published in the Computer in Human Behavior 2019. That's with the very high impact factor also. So you can see there's the right picture. That's our architect. We can collect the data from MySQL into the NoSQL database. And then we use the Arusio computation in memory and connect to the Amazon S3 that can perform some data storing and processing. And the behind picture is the process. We have the 6 steps for the data process and then distribute all the data on this cloud. Talking about our right now is research is related to the influenza-like illness outbreak prediction. We have published 2 papers. One is on the journal supercomputing. It's 2020, and the other is very near. It's a feature generation computer system 2021. Yeah, almost new. So later I was talking about the main idea and how to do this for these 2 papers. So I think we are in the artificial intelligence, machine learning and deep learning era. So we can see artificial intelligence, we call the intelligent agent, is referred to the ability of the computer to simulate or model human thinking process to eliminate human ability or behavior. Then machine learning, that's learning the model from the data. We give the data. So we can call this method is a data-driven model. For the deep learning, the algorithm can learn in the data representation with use a cascade of multiple layers of nonlinear process unit. We call it neural network. So from our research motivation, the issue of influenza is the direct and far-reaching problem, ranging from the health problem of the people to the society stability. And higher polluted air may stimulate the human bronchial tube and induce influenza-like disease. You can see there's a picture because the particle material that's bigger than the right now influenza virus. So the virus will consolidate with the PM 2.5. So influenza-like is an actual repository disease that easily transmitted by droplet, which can be easily lead to the pneumonia and death. So forecasting and responding to the influenza epidemic in advance is the most effective control method in public health. So this study find a correlation between PM 2.5 and death from the influenza-like epidemics and use the government open data to build a prediction module through the deep learning method. We use the influenza mnemonic text database. This is from our Ministry of Health and Welfare, and visualize the data to facilitate the judgment of the correlation between PM 2.5 and influenza-like illness. The influenza-like breakout ratio is issued by the WHO. We know that the World Health Organization. The breakout calculation method is used to calculate the clear ratio of influenza-like consolidation rate. We use the concept of ensemble learning. This learning is talking about a stacking model, which combine 5 deep learning methods, 5 deep learning model into a large neural network. We predict the reach rate of infuser-like ionics in the next 6 weeks, with the threshold as an early warning to predict the infuser pandemic outbreak early and achieve the most effective control purpose. You can see from this picture, we get the data from health insurance database, also include the public civil database. That's our data source. And then we store the data. We have processing the data and visualize the data. So from the visualization, we can easily to see and check the correlation, and we can do the more correlation analysis in the future. Then we apply the deep learning model. We construct the 5 deep learning model with the ensemble learning with the predict capacity. They can predict the rate about the next 6 weeks. I talked before, last page. So this purpose of system can be used for the cleaning application and for early warning. Okay, what kind of software do we use? We use the TensorFlow and Keras. TensorFlow is an open source software library that is currently used in the various machine learning and deep learning development. We use the TensorFlow to support the Keras backend and use the GPU version of TensorFlow to securate. And Keras is a high-level deep learning library that developed in Python. Through the Keras, we can focus only on the development and adjustment our model. So you don't worry about the code because the Keras already implement the most deep learning algorithm. You just need to adjust the parameter and like the to have the more we call the precision, accuracy. First one, I introduced the recurrent neural network for you. That's we call it RNN. RNN is type of a feed-forward neural net. That's a network type return the value of the neural network to the input. So you can see the from previous stage where output and then will be the input as the next stage. So RNN is a good at process time sequence data, include audio, video, and like the air quality or like ionics. That's a very good use RNN. So the speech recognition, most of algorithm, most applications use RNN. And later we check the LSTM. We call long short-term memory, LSTM. LSTM is a default module developed by N. Because that's improve the RNN. That include add the gate mechanism. Gate mechanism is there to allow the LSTM to efficiently save the weight of the event that occurred before distant time. So LSTM is more suitable than RNN to deal with the important event with the longer interval or delay in time series. Okay, let's talking about the get current recurrent unit. We call the GRU. GRU. You can spell the GRU. GRU is an improved model based on the LSTM model. Group replace the forget gate and input gate in the LSTM with an update gate and merge the cell state and hidden state. So you can see there's a group architect. And making the group faster during the training, we are having similar performance to the LSTM. So that's a more simplified than the LSTM. However, it still can keep the long time interval more than the IN. And also we have the bio duration. Bio duration IN. That's some task. The current output is not only related to the previous state, but also related to the subsequent state. So the principle of bi-directional IN is to read the training data in 2 times duration. You can see this from the 2 direction and train the neural network. So this architecture can achieve a good result, especially when the data has a dependence relationship. So the bio-INN like this, you can have the bio-LSTM and bio-duration group also. But however, I did not put the slides. You can, from the research paper. We're talking about the ensemble learning. Ensemble learning construct and combine multiple models to complete the target task. By combining multiple models and combine the advantage of each single model, it achieves better performance than a single model. And there are 2 main issues in field of ensemble learning. One is the selection and training of the first stage model. And the second one is integration of each model. So you can see from the training data, before we just use one model. And right now we apply the ensemble learning. We can have maybe there's we call the K model. And then we'll staking the data, staking the result to form we call an ensemble model. How to do the staking? We can see the staking method is different from the traditional method. The staking method can divide into 2 steps. The first step is to select multiple initial model. The initial model must have a certain degree of prediction performance. So the first one to pick the right model is very important. However, maybe you need to try and error to try sometimes you can get a good performance. The output of initial model in this step will use as a training data for meta model. So this is the second one, the second step. So from the picture, you can see our train data. We can have the subset 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we use the test data for model 1, model 2, model 3, and model 4. So at this moment, maybe we will use the INN LSTM group or combine with the bio-IN, bio-LSTM or bio group also. Okay, let's take an insight on our system architecture for the data storage and processing. This picture I introduced it on the previous slides. We published this result on a computer in human behavior paper. So you can see that from the relational database, we can use the scoop to import or explore the data to the Hadoop ecosystem. As we know, Hadoop ecosystem used for the NoSQL database, they can, with the distributed capacity, the capacity also. And then we use the Alusio. You can see that the A, that's called Alusio in memory processing. They can be, have the more high speed for the data processing. And also we can, through the Amazon S3 to connect the safe. We have built a safe also. That's a distributed file system. Can be with the multiple node. We use the OSD and the radios to have this kind of file system. So in conceptually, we get the data from our government. That's from the EPA and the Ministry of Health and Welfare. Then into our server. The server architect is the above picture. Also, we have the Python language, TensorFlow, Keras, and with the ensemble learning, not only the LSTM, because the picture need to be modified. Right now, we have the ensemble learning and storage analysis. Then we have the client interface for the user that can see the visualization. Okay, we talking about the data preprocessing. We collect the data on the array of Infusa-like emergency room visit from the Ministry of Health and Welfare. That's our government, MHW, stand for MHW. And the PM 2.5 open data is on the 77 air pollution station from the Environmental Protection Agency. We call it EPA. There are a total of more than 4,400 records in the 6 districts of Taiwan. Later, I will talking you how to separate Taiwan into 6 districts. And we collecting weekly. That's a weekly data, average data from the 2007 to the 2021 year. And the data is still continue collect in the near real time. So that's a continued work. Yeah. For the public Soviet IoT data, we can get from this link. That's our Taiwan Soviet IoT data that collect the air quality, water quality, and earthquake also. So also include the weather. You can see like today, Taiwan weather is very good. Sky is blue and the tree is green. Yeah, you can see behind me. So that's the data. You can see there's an air quality station with the 77 per hour. But we merge the data. We get the to form a weekly. So how to separate the Taiwan into 6 districts? You can see that we call the Taipei district, North district, Central district, South, Gaoping, and East. That include a different city and county. So you can see the Taipei is the Taipei City, Keelung, Taipei County. Right now we should say the new Taipei City, Yilan County, Keelung County, and Nanjing County. So you can see there's a we call it Taipei. Right now it's the green color. And the blue color we call the North County. There's a Hsinchu City, Hsinchu County, Taoyuan City, and the Miaoli County. Okay, and Central is right now we here yellow part include the Taichung City and Taichung County. But however, in 2010, Taiwan already had the district reorganized. So right now, Taichung City and Taichung County is merged into one. We call it Taichung City. And central part include Jianghua County and Nantou County also. So you can see there's a 6 district for the Taiwan. Because our medical data, health data, public health data is also according to this 6 district. Okay, you can see that's our air quality data from the 2019 that week 26, 25, 24, 23 to the 21. The different PM2.5 value. We can have the whole value from this 6 district, and that's another value is IRI data. The bottom of the table is the IRI data, IONIS. Then we use the 6:2 ratio to split the original data. I mean, called 4,400 data to 3 parts for the training set, test set, and validation set. We use the ensemble learning and select RNN, LSTM, glue, bidirectional LSTM, and bidirectional glue as the first stage models. But we did not select the bio RNN because after we refine our system, we check, we find include the bio LSTM and bio glue is more good than bio RNN. And fill in the missing value that could be found, that could be occurred, is very helpful for the model training. And the complete data will improve the training effectiveness. When long-term continuous time value are missed, we adopt to complementary method of linear. One is we call it 2 complementary method of linear, and another is KNN. We use this in parallel. Okay, let's talking about the breakout calculation. This work use the breakout ratio calculation method that published by the WHO. The upper limit of the safe range of the IRI cancellation rate is calculated. How to calculate? According to the outbreak calculation, the historical data of the past 5 years is used to calculate the ratio of IRI pandemic in the current year. So the outbreak formula, you can see that's the X bar plus minus a Z with the S divided to the N is the sample size with the square. You can see among them, the X bar is the average value, and Z is the confidence level of coefficients. The confidential level is 95%, and the Z is 1.96, and S is the standard deviation, and N is the sample size. For our model evaluation, we use the 3 model evaluation indicator. MAP, we call it MAPE and MAE and RMSE. That's a different, but we select the MAPE as our final. So you can see the MAPE is stand for the mean absolute percentage error. That's a formula you can see. And mean absolute error that's not too average. So that did not have the percentage. And root mean square error, we just use the square and then we use the root to get a result. So we call the root mean square error. Okay, we select the MAP as our model evaluation. So we hope to get the less than 20%. That will indicate that's a good prediction accuracy. If you can less than 10%, that will have the high accuracy. So you can see that's our model evaluation result. Usually when evaluating the model is in addition to looking at the loss value during the training and predict the numerical trend is compared with the actual value to evaluate whether the neural network model has then trend characteristic. So we can see that our loss rate is down, and we have done the trend. We have done the trend to match the trend characteristic. And this figure shows the comparison between the predict and the actual value from our ensemble learning model over 20 to the 35 weeks in 2019. So you can see the picture. The picture also published in our paper. Okay, the mean absolute percentage error is used. We call the MAP is used of the model evaluation index to use the measure the quality of model prediction result. So you can see there's a picture left hand. That's our code to run the MAP value. So it can be seen that the value of MAP are less than 20%. So which means that the of this model is high, and this model can be saved for the later use. And let's talking about our experimental environment. We use the two machines. That's a server class machine. One is the web server used for the web page display, and the other is based on Ubuntu operating system to build a deep learning development environmental and database environmental. So you can see there's a spec on the left hand, and the software install is on the right hand. We include Python, Anaconda, CUDA DNN, CUDNN, TensorFlow, Keras, and the NumPy. Okay, let's talking about the data visualization on our system. We present the result of the data analysis through web page. The web system is based on HTML5 and JavaScript and CSS3. Using the concept of the responsive web design, we call it RWD. The running the system interface is a variety of device with the different resolution, include a smart mobile device and tablet. You can see that you can get a good user experience. So right now you can use your web, enter the search bar, enter the ithu.tw/PME. You can see from our system, you can see the picture right now. Yeah, that's which we call a short URL. Short URL. That's intelligent Tunghai University Taiwan. Okay, there's I. You can stable I is I thu.tw/PNE. PNE is a numerical, okay. And we have the ILI with the AQI chart. So you can replace the shortcuts to the ILI, AQI. You can see this picture also. So there's some data. There's a data from the 2016 to the right now. There's almost 5-year data. And you can see there's a long trending. So with the 6 districts and IRI data and AQI data. Oh, okay. The AQI is the multiple air quality index, merged the multiple air quality index. We call it air quality index AQI. Not only include the PM 2.5, but also the NO2, SO2, O3, like this kind of together. Maybe include the PM 10, I remember. So you can check the AQI, air quality index. Yeah. So that's a complex value from the most of the air quality. So we have another picture. We call the AQI, ILI. That's a different with the previous age. So we have the ILI, AQI, and AQI, ILI, and also the PNE is the most. So we combine them into the weekly average of the data that meets our needs of research, and we can observe something from the training. For example, you can see that have the 4 peak. That's a mean when the ILI is high, then the AQI is also. I should say another. Sorry. When we see that AQI is higher, then we can get the ILI is also higher than others. So that's we can see the peak. So from the data visualization, we integrate the breakout value and of the central district. There's a central district. There's a mean the Taiwan in 2019. The historical value of the actual ILI consolidation rate and the predicted rate of the ILI consolidation in the future. So that's you can see. And our system can show this kind of picture because we have the influenza-like pandemic ratio value. This upper limit is 95% interval. So that's from the paper, one paper talking about this. So we use this data as our ratio. And then this influenza emergency medical consolidation rate from CDC. So then our system can forecasting predict visitor rate with in the near next 6 weeks. So we can know if the predict rate larger than threshold, that means is the early warning rise through clinic visit. So maybe should have to some effective control. So there's also from the previous data, the historical data, we can see there's a breakout the part. So from our system, we can check they have a breakout point. Yeah, is to synchronize our system. Okay, this part summary. In this work, we propose to use the ensemble learning to predict the IOI consolidation rate. Experiment prove this model can be effectively achieve the goal. And the ensemble can be effectively predict the IOI conservation rate in the next 6 weeks, and the MAPE value is between 8% to the 50%. And this kind of system can provide a user with a clear criteria for judge IOI by using the breakout algorithm to calculate the threshold of the IOI outbreak. Okay, there's a data source you can refer from our Taiwan. Let's talking about another research. There's a diabetic food worm detection. The method of phase region convolution CNN is the object detection to perform the object detection on diabetic food worm. In addition to identifying all the objects that appear from the image and making the position of the object. First, the region CNN convolution neural network use the concept of a sliding window. Use a fixed size classifier to scan the entry photo one by one and deliver the exact image to the convolution neural network for identification and the classification. And it produced about a 2,000 image range where the object may appear. Yeah. Through the pre-trained convolution training model, the ResNet is used for the extract feature. So you can see right now we're talking about the input image, and the second is the extract region proposed around the 2,000 image region. And use the classifier to distinguish whether it is the object or the background, like right now the step 3. And also we have the step 4 classifier region. Finally, the position of the bounding box is correct via the linear regression model. And we use the transfer learning for this worm detection. Transfer learning is a method of machine learning which is transfer the knowledge of the original field to a new field, so that the field can achieve the good learning effect. Extension is a deep convolution module that can be used more effectively for model parameter, and due to his spatial region convolution neural network architecture, after the actual training and testing, it was indeed found that the extension verification accuracy was higher than other model. So this is our system architecture. So the user can take a photo, the image for the food worms, and our system can upload the image to our server side to do the check and then verify to detect the worm and respond to the data. And there's a software stack for our system. We built on the Ubuntu also include Anaconda, Python, and the server side. We have server side and website also. There's a different side. And server side input data and include OpenCV, TensorFlow, and Keras. And website we have the Apache database, PHP, and the WordPress for the web display. Okay, the data classification and the pre-processing. Our data source, we have assigned IRB. We from the Taiwan Veterans General Hospital. assist doctor and paramedics to quickly evaluate wounds during the work and the medical report, and provide objectified data and make it a judgment about the classification of wounds. And direct wound, foot wound include ulcer wound is called ulceration, and broad vessel brachy. The brachy feet we call a broad vessel, and ensure seizure and the seizure wound. And for the sake of the system, we add a mark of the Taiwan Veterans General Hospital, the mark, to assist in subsequent judgment. So you can see there's a picture. We have the original 727. So they have 4 class, and from the first one is we call the brachy broad vessel. Is a 318, and also ulceration part we have the 345 picture, and also the seizure part we have the 64, and then we use the mark to identify. That's later you can see the picture. So that's our data classification and the pre-processing. We should take it different the class, and because the data is not so much, so we do the data augmentation. Because the original the data is not enough to process with the keras, because they were not done very well. So the image will flip back and forth, flip up and down, and shift and distort, and so on. And from the original total 727 image to the 900 each part, because we have the 4 part. So each part we have do the data augmentation to the 900. So totally we have the 3,600 image for the training data. So from the image data, we use the each class, each type. We use the 700 image from this 900 image in each catalog. We'll use the training data, and another 200 image we'll use for the test data. So that's we do the data labeling image software to mark the argument data and set as the wrong target and specify the classification. You can see there's a software we can do the image label, and after the marking the 3,600 image file, the XML data file with the target denote coordinate value are integrated and generate into the CSV file. And the data representation before the training is complete. That's we can see there's take data, and then we use the data transfer into the CSV data for each picture. So this is a process. Then we do the model selection and adjustment the model parameter. 3 first RCNN module mode or select for the migration, and they are in section V2 COCO and KT train model. That's use the REST name 101, and iNaturalist species training model. That's also the resonate 101. By comparing the MAP is the mean average precision accuracy, the identification, the speed, and the parameter adjustment. The most accurate deep learning model for diabetes food wrong identification was compared. So this we compare these three models with the speed is a microsecond and the MAPs. So we can see the three model with the different speed and with the different MAPs. Okay, that's a training model. Before the training, we divide the training data set and the test set to the 3 to 1. By adjust the parameter and the number there, the model is more suitable for training diabetic food wrong. During the training process, we set the number of training sessions to be around 10 with 100, yeah, 100,000, and observe the TensorFlow learning curve until the loss value reach the minima and does not change. So we use the faster RCNN insertion V2 COCO model. That's the original data, and then we get the predict data. So that's we call the TensorFlow curve, learning curve. You can see from the picture, the classification loss is less than 0.05, and the localization loss is less than 0.05, and the total loss is less than 0.1. And there's another faster RCNN, we call the Kitty. We use the ResNet 101 also. Yeah, it's a 101 layer. So from this TensorFlow training curve, we can see the value is the same with the COCO model in section V1, V2, in section V2. Okay, there's a iNaturalist species training model. It's still use the 101. Okay, so there's with the value classification loss is between the 0.05 to the 0.1, and the localization loss is less than 0.05, and the total loss is 0.1 to the 0.2. Okay, there's a different model with the accuracy rate. You can see there's a different accuracy. The iNaturalist species training with more high accuracy than the other two. Also, we are calculating the wrong area. We cut around the wrong in the image and with the crab cut and drop red line. You can see the drop red line to calculate the number of pixels in the wrong position, and then calculate the actual size of the wrong by marking comparison. You can see that with the TVGH with the TVGH mark. Okay, there's a wrong identification, segmentation, and wrong calculation. So we have to get the area, and also the length, So you can see there's a 33.73 centimeter. Okay, there's a different picture. It can be verified and also have the area calculated. And this is another. This we call the oscillation. This is oscillation. And this is a brachial vessel. And this is a suture. This is a suture. Okay, summary. In this work, object detection was used to predict, classify, and locate the different kind of wrongs in diabetes food using the transfer learning. And the system has now analyzed three categories. There's a author, suture, and break and feed due to the brachial blood vessel. The classifier diabetic food author photograph and calculate the estimate the wound area and the circumference. So user can import the image into the website, and when multiple open the wrong appear in the image, they can identify and mark the location of the wrong and other information. And right now we already implement this as a app. It can be used on iPhone and Android. So the nurse can use the app to take a picture and do the verify. Okay, we have another paper is talking about facial symmetry. That's a cooperation with the Chang'an Medical Hospital. You can see, and we publish in the computer method and program in biomedicine. And right now, I really think for Enda she is from your university, Ukrida. Right now, he's my PhD student. His research is on the edge AI. We call it edge computing with AI. So let's let me explain something. The edge computing is a distributed computing architecture that moves the computing of the application, data, and service from the central node of the network to the edge node. Since the edge node is close to the user terminal device, the data processing and the transmission speeds can be accurate, and the delay can be reduced. Under this structure, the analysis of data and the information generation are close to the source. So it is more suitable for processing the big data or process the sensor data. Okay, this is a conceptual picture. Right now, we are developing some, we call the edge site, include like the JSON Nano, Raspberry Pi with Intel NCS, and use the DeepMind. There's a DeepMind. Yeah, yes. There's some software stack on the NVIDIA. Also, we use the LoRa. We call it low power, long range, the communication technology for the data transfer. Also, you can use the 4G, 5G is okay, but however, if your data rate is not very high, you can use the low power WAN. So that's a conceptual for some application like the smart manufacturing, smart agriculture, and smart medical and smart city. So we build the Internet Things of architecture. We call it TIoT. That's with the different communication. There's a device, and we have the edge will collect the data into our cloud. That with the MQTT, MariaDB, Grafana, and with the RESTful API. So we can do the application in smart campus. So I don't want to talk too much because this kind of the application is useful for the smart campus. That's our ISEC architecture. ISEC is stand for the Intelligent Sensor Edge and Cloud. Sensor Edge and Cloud. So you can see there's a left-hand side. There's our different type of wireless sensor. Maybe there's a LoRa, NB-IoT, also the Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 5, Wi-Fi 6, or you can have the wire sensor, but mostly it's wireless, and 5G, 4G sensor. Then we have edge. The edge side, we have the THU, RX 64M, and Raspberry Pi, NVIDIA. Also, we have the CloudPar. CloudPar will use the MQTT broker and with the Docker, Kubernetes, Rancher, and Kafka. And then we can display the Grafana graphical user interface for the mobile phone, tablet, also the computer, and do some big data analysis with the machine learning and deep learning framework. Okay. There's we published a paper in recently. One is 2020, and the left-hand side is this year. We published on the IEEE ASS and IEEE Internet of Things Journal with a very high impact factor. The first author is Enda. Yeah. And we have controlled the Taiwan air quality visualization and forecasting. Since I don't have time to talk much, but you can take a look to click this website. Yeah, it's easy to remember. We call it AQI. Anything is AQI. And .thu edu tw/pn 2.5. Or you can see the winding. You know the winding, the hand side, right hand side picture is a winding. Yeah, and another shortcut. Show URL is ithu.twpn 2.5. They will see the difference with the English version also. So we have to do some PM 2.5 forecasting model. That's a 2 paper. Also, the first author is Enda Christina. One is Journal of Supercomputing. Another is IEEE ASS also. Okay. You can check the website for my publication, include all my students. Yeah, and we are together. Yes. So that's my publication on the Scopus. Yeah, you can see. That's a right hand side is the QR code we can scan. Okay. I think I will conclude today my talk. I think the artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning, this term has brought about a technology and solution that change the shape of healthcare. And as we know, the deep learning in healthcare is a branch of AI that offer a great potential for change and introduce a rich level of medical technology solution. In my talk, we demonstrate 2 examples and how to apply the deep learning on the public health and healthcare. I think we will have a more successful health tools or system in the near future. Okay, that's my talk today, this morning. Thanks for your attention. And any question?
Okay, thank you, Prof. Jans, for your time to give us the speech. Okay, it's quite a fruitful presentation where we can see that 2 applications of artificial intelligence in healthcare. One is to predict the influenza pandemic, and one to predict the diabetic foot ulcer graphical. Also, we are also thank you for your guidance to one of our lecturer, Miss Enda Christiani. So she doing a PhD degree under Prof. Yang. Okay, and now before we jump to the Q&A session, I would like to remind to all the participants to I will share a link Okay, sorry, a while. Okay, okay. Mr. Benny will share a ring. So please, if you want, this seminar will give an e-certificate. If you would like to have the e-certificate, please register at the link below, which is you can click at the link or scan the QR code. Oh, and also for this seminar, if you didn't catch the whole of the seminar, you still can catch it up in our YouTube in the Ukrida TV. Okay. Okay. So I give 5 minutes for all of you to see the link or click the link to register to get the e-certificate. And then the e-certificate will be issued to you within 3 days.
Okay, I saw the question. Yeah,
yes.
On the I have to say the first one is based on your experience. How is predict accuracy using the deep learning when provided with the more and more data? Oh, I think it is a good question. Because for the different application, maybe the data the data amount is different. For example, for my first one example is IRI prediction. This data can be from our CDC and from our EPA. So the data you can collect so much. However, the second example is diabetes, food, wrong. This part we did not have so much data, so we need to do the data documentation. So I think this problem is according to your application. However, the data amount should be enough, but maybe not huge. But too small is not good for training. So I think this question I will answer like this. Yeah. If I did not get your point, you can ask me again. Okay. And the second one is I like your talk. I would like to know how we can identify or determine which one deep learning model will be better matched with our objective and research field. Okay, good. That's a very good problem also. In the influenza case, how we can make sure our algorithm data capable to detect and analyze the maturation or evolutionary strength. Okay. We had to do some algorithm before. The first we should know the data. We call the characteristic, because like the IRI data, that's a time sequence data. You know, that's a time sequence. So we have so many deep learning algorithms. However, some algorithm is used for the image classification detection, and some algorithm is used for the time series, and some algorithm is for the natural language processing. So first one, you should have I think that maybe there's a background to know your data is what kind of data. Is a time sequence or image, or that's a different. Yeah, so you can pick up the basic algorithm to try and error. However, from the reference paper, we can check from the database right now which algorithm is more suitable for your data. You can check still, because many research published the paper. Yeah. So for example, air quality, you can see there's an algorithm should be the time series algorithm, like the RNN, LSTM, GRU. And maybe right now have a new one. But however, you can, like us, to ensemble them with the staking model. But you still need to run. You still need to run, try and error, because something you need to adjust the parameter. However, your data cannot be cannot include the missing data or noise, because that will cause your algorithm to not get the good result. Okay, there's a second two problem. Three. In most cases, which is more effective in determining the accuracy? For a conclusion, whether use machine learning or deep learning. Oh, that's I think that's the first one. You can try if your data is not so much. Your data just only a small. I think you can try machine learning first. Machine learning, the algorithm you don't need to write down. One package you should learn how to use. We call the scikit-learn, sklearn. Sklearn include all the machine learning algorithm. For example, the supervised learning or non-supervised learning, all include scikit-learn. So you can use the algorithm to do your data first. If you want to do the deep learning, you know, the deep learning is talking about the neural network. So that will be cost, maybe will cost more time. I mean the computing power. And also, if you want to deal with the image data, I think deep learning will be the better solution. Yeah. So you know, right now we have so many algorithms for the YOLO. You know, the YOLO V3, V4. V4 is published by Taiwan research fellow Professor Hong Yuan Liao. Is in the academic syndicat. So that YOLO YOLO is a CNN, and also you can use the different algorithm. However, there's a neural network deep learning. Okay. How many image file to make the DL or ML in diabetes food diagnosis? Okay. I think if we can get more data, it's more better. However, we only have the 727 image. After we training our system, our algorithm, it's not good. It's not get the very high accuracy, because we use the evaluation model to evaluate our the accuracy. So we do the data argument. So from our previous experience, maybe need to have the 1,000 picture. Yeah, it's good more than 100 picture. Yes. Okay. And is it possible to make a collaboration research diabetes food other diagnosis between Ukita and Taiwan? Yeah, I think this should be fine because we also cooperation with our near hospital, the Taichung, we call it TVGH. We call it TVGH. Okay, so I think this should be. But however, if it include there's some image from hospital, we should have the IRB first. Or you already have the IRB in your cooperation hospital. Now we can cooperate in the near future. That's should be fine. Okay. May ask the PPT style. Oh, sure. After today's talk, I will share something. However, I will delete some part because I need to verify with the hospital again, and to make sure I did not invaded the rule. Okay. And okay. And fruitful presentation. I have a question about the setting and parameter in deep learning. In deep learning architecture, there are many parameters and the hyperparameter. Yes, to be set and get the best performance. And sometimes it can be time consuming. Do you have any tips related to the setting and the parameter so it is efficiently time efficient in time consumption and still get a good result? For example, maybe you can give some advice to us on what parameter hyperparameter that need to be focused when using the certain architecture in detail. Thank you. Okay. Today I did not talking about how to use we call adagram, Aden and adagram and RMS drop momentum that have some hyperparameter. Yes, for adjust your neural network model. But for this part, if your question can send to me later for your application, maybe I can ask my student to give you a more precise answer. Because I did not run it by myself, you know. That's all from my students. So I'm not have this kind of experience to do the more accurate adjust. So I can request my student to answer you on your question and your application if we can. Yes. Thank you. Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Yang. I think we still have time for the question and answer session. So I might ask if anyone want to ask any question and answer, please you can open your mic and ask directly to Prof. Yang also. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Does anyone have any question to Prof. Yang?
May I? Yeah. May I cue Enda?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Please, Prof. Yang. Okay.
Are you online also, Enda Christina? My student.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, you can share something for your university to your teacher, yeah, and your colleague, yeah.
Pardon. What's repeat again, Prof. Yang? I didn't.
Oh, I just mentioned you can share something when you do your PhD study in Taiwan, in Tunghai University. Yeah, what can you learn and what kind you have the achievement? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm really glad to have an opportunity to study in Tunghai University. I have many experience that in the future I can apply it in my university or in Indonesia. So thank you so much for this opportunity. Also for the Taiwan governments that give me a scholarship. So that will be a great experience and opportunity for me. Thank you. And also because this is I say to my university, happy anniversary. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we are very welcome. Yeah, Grida faculty to or lecturer to join the Tunghai program in the near future. Yeah, we can have a good cooperation channel with you. Yeah. Terima kasih. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Miss Enda. Thanks, Miss Yang. Okay. Anyone more on the floor that would like to give comment or question and answer to the Prof Yan? Because we still have another 5 minutes and we are open for that.
Oh, okay. Someone say you want to ask me the email. Yeah, okay. Yeah, email. May I show my first page?
Okay, sure. Please, Prof. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, maybe you can. Okay, I think times. Okay, so if you guys want to contact or ask Prof Yan directly, you can email him, which is shown in the slide below. Okay, so if anyone doesn't have any question and ask question to Prof Yan, maybe I will ask you to click on your Zoom this reaction for the applause. Can you click that as a token of appreciation to Prof Yan for his nice speech? Okay. So please, I ask everyone to click the applause reaction. So, and I thank you, Prof Yan, for the nice speech also. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
terima kasih.
Okay. Okay, so we come to the end of our session. So, okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for your time. So you may leave this session. Okay. For anyone, just for reminder, if anyone want for the e-certificate, you just click and register. Okay. Thank you very much. I thank you also, Prof Yan, for the time.
Thank you, Ivan. Thank you, Dr. Ivan.
Yeah, thank you, Prof Yan. Okay. Okay. I hope to see you next time. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Professor Yan.